Warriors, welcome. The anti-anxiety gods have flown down to planet Earth, have visited me, and relayed to me 10 messages that I need to share with you. Now, there's a lot of anxiety sufferers out there that don't want to hear these messages, but they need to hear these messages so that they can get themselves back on track towards healing anxiety and becoming a brand new identity. Before we get into this video, please subscribe and hit the like button. I love you all. Thank you so much for your trust and support. Number one is this, and it's very important that everybody does this. No more victim speak. No more. The moment you want to justify your challenges, your struggles, and go, oh, my symptoms are overtaking my body, I can't deal with it anymore. Oh, my past was so hurtful, why do those people do that? All those sorts of things. The moment you want to go into victim speak, please catch yourself and understand that your subconscious mind and body are down there vigorously taking notes. What is he saying? What is she saying? Oh, he's saying this? She's saying that? Ooh, I guess he or she wants more of this. So, what we need to understand is when you speak in a victim-like manner, it provides you with a feeling. It provides you with a label. It provides you with something that is very short-term, not long-lasting. When I used to speak in a victim-like manner, I felt the sympathy and the comfort from other people that I didn't really have when I was growing up, right? I felt a sense of significance and connection and even love to people when I was speaking in a victim-like manner. But you don't want to meet these needs in such a negative and self-sabotaging manner. You want to meet these needs in a very positive and uplifting manner, one that's long-lasting and one that contributes to your anxiety healing journey. So talk about your progress more than you talk about your challenges. Number two is stop relying on your government. Stop relying on your therapist. Stop relying on the drugs. Stop relying on your friends for your healing. There's a lot of people out there that the moment they have a question mark, or the moment they have a challenge, they run to something on the outside, someone on the outside to help them. When in fact, all the answers are already within you. And it's your job to do one very, very crucial thing. And that is to build trust in yourself. Build trust in you that you already have the answers. Build trust in you that if you act on the answers that you feel within you, you're going to eventually get the result that you want. So please, stop relying on everything on the outside and understand that through the Anxiety Guy content, the podcast, the programs, you're getting to that place where you deserve to be. Okay? Number three is stop allowing yourself to accept other people's opinions of you. This was me every single day. I would have a great morning, right? I'd go through my morning. I got all this momentum and progress. My God, I don't have any limiting or catastrophic ideas floating in my head. Emotionally, I feel pretty neutral and pleasant. My goodness. And then I'd get to work, or I'd get somewhere where there was a group of people and they'd look at me and go, "What happened to your face?" Right? Or, "Did you gain some weight? Why'd you cut your hair? Why don't you ever smile?" Right? And all of a sudden I would label myself like, "Oh man, I never smile. I'm so depressed all the time, I think, and people aren't going to like me, and I can't please anyone, and I can't connect with anyone." Right? All sorts of spider web effects going on there. One person's opinion of you has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with you, and has everything to do with what they're going through, period. It's an opportunity for that person to take advantage of your vulnerability and for them to discharge energy that's been lying stagnant in their mind and body, period. Nothing to do with you. So your answer is this. Oh, I don't smile ever? Well, I just don't feel like smiling right now, and that's completely fine because I'm a human being. Right? Have a great day. And they're scratching their head going, what's up with that guy? Later on in the day, they realize, yeah, I see what's going on here. All right. Number 4 is quit thinking that your anxiety started recently and look deeper into your childhood programming and experiences for the answers and for those pieces that will put that puzzle together. A lot of people say, oh, my anxiety started last year. Nope. Oh, my anxiety started when I had that panic attack 6 months ago. Nope. The vast majority of the time, people when they're younger experience an initial sensitizing event that causes them to feel sensitized, that causes them to create an internal perspective over their reality that is very scary and fearful. Then through that initial event, they run into subsequent events, things that occur, people that they meet, all these things based around the initial event that occurred. And what we have to do is we have to understand that from moment to moment throughout the day, when you have a symptom, when you have a limiting or catastrophic or fearful thought, when you have any of these things, an emotion that is an icky feeling within you, any of these things that we deem as being negative, we have to understand that that voice, that energy, that projection is coming from the cognitive rationale of a 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old child. They are interpreting the situation in one way, and the adult you wants to interpret the situation in a different way. Now, what you don't want to do is jump on the first thought that arises, right? Or continue to act in the same manner you always have. Because if you do that, you're putting your life, you're putting all your power, all your knowledge in the hands of that 7, 8-year-old you. You don't want that. You want the adult to run your life and not the child. So, in essence, when you think about your anxiety today, our job, our goal is one word. That word is depth. We have to face the very thing that we've been stuffing aside year after year after year, hoping that time will heal everything. Let me tell you something. Time doesn't heal. Time just allows you to distract yourself enough so that you can stuff your problems aside and not face them. Therefore, feel them later on in life, though. We don't want that. If a memory shows up, if a situation arises, we want to do the opposite of what our survival brain wants us to do. Our survival brain wants us to run. Our emotional brain wants us to run. But our conscious brain says, hey, maybe there's a different option here. And that's the very option that we must follow. Next one is give yourself permission to have separate spiritual beliefs to your parents and other people. I can't tell you how important this is. You know, I go about helping people, and I am shocked when a person goes about their healing without taking on some kind of a spiritual, deep belief, right? Because You are only a co-creator in your life. This is what I truly believe, based around studying other people, based around the results that other people are getting in their lives. I now understand that there are two types of intelligences in this world. One, the creative intelligence that lies within you, that has the answers, that can heal the body if the irrational mind gets out of the way. And the creative intelligence that lies on the outside. You see it in everything, from plants to nature to everything out there, right? There is a language on the outside that we need to start communicating with. So, warrior, it's totally fine. It's okay to have separate spiritual beliefs than what your parents had, right? You don't have to sabotage this journey. You don't have to say, ooh, it's not what mom and dad would approve of. Ooh, my friends might not accept me. Let me tell you something. Healing comes with a tremendous amount of sacrifice. And sometimes you're going to have to sacrifice what your parents believe is true. You have to sacrifice some friends. You have to sacrifice some short-term temptations in order for you to move towards a better place in your life. Number 6, very simple, very powerful. Please, everybody out there, turn off the news. Turn off the news. Fear-mongering is everywhere. And you may be watching the news and going, hey, this isn't affecting me at all. I'm just gaining some information on what's going on in the world. Everything's fine. I'm just watching some news. Over time, the subconscious programming, the subliminal programming that is in that news is altering the way you see yourself and the world. And all of a sudden you start to distort information that you never did before. You know how many people out there go, man, I never used to be this person. I don't know what happened, right? Well, what happened was you were partaking in habits every single day that were affecting you more than what you consciously felt was affecting you. And the news has everything to do with this. So, please, get the stimulation out of your life. You don't need to know 99% of the things that you already do know about the world because it doesn't help you in the long run. Next thing that we need to tackle together is stop trusting and acting on your first assumptions in every given situation, right? Going about your day, and all of a sudden you assume something about something. And you go, whoa, yep, that's true. That's what I have to act on. No. Many times, and you'll notice this if you give it a few moments to think over. Many times it's the 3rd, 4th, 5th, keep going, 6th, 7th, 8th assumption over a particular situation that is in fact the truth. Do you realize this? The first one's usually like, get me out of here, right? The second one's kind of like, oh, get me out of here, right? The third assumption is kind of like, oh, maybe those people really don't care about my symptoms. The fourth assumption or thought in your head is usually, maybe I am safe here. The fifth one is usually, ooh, maybe I can turn this anxiousness into energy and use it. Now we're getting somewhere, right? Now we're getting somewhere. Because when we can turn those initial assumptions into something else and go, hey, system, it's not what you think it is, and I want to prove it to you so that in the future we can condition ourselves to respond differently. So stop trusting your first assumption, your first instincts on any given situation. Give it some more time. Pause and learn how to respond effectively to those intrusive thoughts and ideas through this video right here. Number 8, dogs. Number 8 is start communicating with your organs in a loving manner. Communicating with your organs? Dennis, have you lost it this time? No, I haven't. One of the things that I do regularly is I project enormous amounts of love to different parts of my body that may be sore or uncomfortable or going through some pain from time to time, whatever it may be. I communicate this love by directly speaking to that body part or organ. Because it's now understood that every organ has its own set of consciousness. Its own set of consciousness? So is it possible that we can verbally speak to our body parts? Is it possible that we can, on the inside, internally think and direct our body parts in the right direction? Can we project love and, in fact, begin healing ourselves? How else do you think these spontaneous remissions start to show up on a daily basis? Someone has some kind of a life-altering disease, and the doctors say, hey, you got only 4 or 5 weeks to go. Go take care of your business, say your goodbyes. And the person starts to go, well, I don't know how much truth there is in that, doc. And they start to project the opposite of what they've been projecting onto their internal world. Within the next couple of weeks, they go back to the doctor, and the doctor says, there's nothing here. We don't know what happened. So many times their internal language, their external language changes. They start to project love. It's like that rice experience. There was an experiment a number of years ago where, I don't remember who it was, but on one side of the room, the person put a jar of rice, and on the other side of the room, the person put another separate jar of rice. And every single day, that person would visit both jars. And for one jar, he would project hate, fear, anger, rage. And to the other jar, tremendous amounts of love, right? What do you think happened to those jars within 21 days? One started to mold and rot, while the other one looked completely fresh and new. Unbelievable. So we need to understand that we have an opportunity here, warriors, to communicate with the organs, with your body parts, in order to bring about healing, the type of healing that we truly want. All right? Number 9 is come to an understanding that the negatives are only parts of you that show up from time to time. There's a lot of people out there that internalize what they feel. They go, I am a depressive person. I am an anxious person. I am so stressful. And they own their feelings. They believe that they are the way they feel. They believe that they are the way they think. I don't think so. That's not the case. In this moment, you're having a moment. So keep it as a moment by recognizing that one part of you showed up. One part of you showed up. Maybe the weather is gloomy and gray. Maybe it's rainy and you're not a big fan of the rain. And that one part of you showed up and says, I don't like the rain. Okay, well, you don't have to take that to the next thing and the next thing and start to identify with it. You just don't like the rain. Period. End of story. Move forward. Now, in our work together, our biggest goal, no matter what, is to change the meaning of a situation, is to change the meaning of the very thing that's causing you to feel distress. So if a part shows up, make sure that you get in the way of that part growing. I am this, I am that, my life is always going to be this way, my past sucked, nobody likes me, and all those sorts of things. Don't allow a moment to turn into an hour. Don't allow an hour to turn into a day. Don't allow a day to turn into a week. Don't allow a week to turn into a month. Don't allow a month to turn into a year and your life. Because that's not your life. You just had a moment and a certain part showed up, so deal with the part. Now, final thing is this, and maybe the most important, at least for me during my healing. Make peace with stillness. Make peace with stillness. People out there are running, fighting, looking to get through the day, looking to survive. Right? This world is becoming more and more stimulating as we go. Information overload everywhere. The moment we stop, the moment we take some time for ourselves, the moment we regroup and recharge, we feel guilty about it because we feel like we should be doing something all the time. We feel like we should be projecting something towards someone else, speaking to someone, all that sort of stuff. But I have a separate message for you today. That message is that stillness is an experience that will provide you with the kind of clarity and the answers that you've been seeking on the outside. It's very important that you make peace with stillness, because if there was one thing that got me past anxiety more than any other thing, it was the ability for me to question my internal habits, question the fact that I needed to continue to move. I needed to always do something. And I realized after some time that that was completely false and untrue. And I could be still. I could be self-loving. I could be the opposite of what I was told to be like, right? And these sorts of things. Warriors, please take these messages today. Run with them. Comment below on which one of these spoke to you the most. I'll also add these in the description. Check it out. And if you have any other questions on the End the Anxiety program or Life Mastery program, head on over to this website right here. Remember that you are more than anxiety. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. Keep the progress going. Have a wonderful day because you deserve it. Bye, guys.